Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Today with Ray. I'm your host, Ray McKee, and this is the show that highlights everyday entrepreneurs. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button. This week, I'm so happy we're talking to Kristen with Hello Love out of the Cargo District, and we've been just chopping it up off camera. Hopefully I can remember everything so we can let y'all in on all the little secrets that we talked about. But thank you so much, Kristen, for being on this episode. How you doing?
Absolutely. Good. I'm doing well. I hope you are.
Yeah. I almost feel like we had a whole off-air interview. Like we were just again talking and catching up. It's been a moment since we've seen each other.
Probably.
Yeah. It was when we were walking up. She was like, "Your hair's different. Like the last time I saw you, it was like barely there." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's been a minute." So I always open up with the first question of just tell us about yourself and why it is that you chose to become an entrepreneur.
Well, I've had many careers.
Yeah.
I never really knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I still don't know at 45.
Yeah.
No idea. But I chose originally, I just chose a major that seemed like, it would work for me. Growing up in such a small town, I really only knew of people that were either teachers or nurses, at least female, females.
Right.
And so that's kind of what I thought my choices were. And I fainted at the sight of blood. So it's teaching, and I babysat when for years when I was little. And so I thought, well, kids like me, I like them.
Right.
So I was a special ed teacher.
Yeah.
I actually got 3 different certifications. And I was all about, when I do something, I'm like 100% all in. So I got 3 different certifications and I thought everything was going to be amazing. And when I decided that I needed to leave New York State and go somewhere warmer and all that, when I moved here down to North Carolina, I realized very quickly that I would not be able to support myself on a teacher's salary, being single and having all this student loan debt, So I left that profession pretty quickly. And then I did many things in Raleigh. And when I moved to Raleigh, I had all sorts of jobs, but I ended up worked for a medical, what would you call it? I guess medical spa, medical spa.
Okay.
Selling I ran the front office and then I kind of did a hybrid position where I did that and did some of the in-house selling of laser hair removal, all those things. But that just wasn't my jam. I loved the people that I worked with. We were all in our 20s. We all the girls, and we had so much fun together. But they wanted us to do all the have all the procedures done, and we were not making hardly any money ourselves. And in your 20s, you don't need all that stuff.
No.
So now it'd be great in my 40s. So that didn't last very long. And then I don't know. I had a brief stint as a mortgage banker, but that was right along the time that the bubble burst.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So that didn't last long. But everywhere I went, I'd meet people and they'd be like, "Hey, what if you come and do this with us?" Or what if So I was bartending.
Okay.
And I met somebody that was like, "Well, with your background, your education background, we could use you as an instructional systems designer. We can train you up."
Okay.
And so I was like, that would be amazing. I mean, I'm still teaching people, but I'm doing it in a totally different way. And I'm making a lot more money.
Right.
So I worked for that company for a long time, but I ended up, they didn't tell me that job was actually based in the D.C. area in Alexandria, Virginia. And the salary was I could do it on a Raleigh budget, but not on an Alexandria, Virginia budget.
Right.
So, and I had just rented a place, and everything. So I stayed in the Raleigh office and I just kind of worked my way up and I ended up being the director of talent acquisition.
Okay.
So that was amazing because I got to meet so many different people and travel all over the place. But as the company grew, they brought in a CFO that made it extremely corporate. And I didn't love it because I liked it when it was small and they would say, hey, Kristen, let's, you'd be in charge of like this charity thing. And oh my gosh, I just had so much fun, running the little charity events. Christmas time, we'd go shopping for all the the needy families. We would get all sorts of Christmas presents, and that was so fun to me.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
But then when there's a CFO involved, they don't want to spend the money on that sort of thing, and it just became very corporate and it was horrible. And as my role grew, I traveled more. I really suffered from burnout, adrenal fatigue. Stress can be horrible. It can really do bad things to you.
Absolutely.
So literally, I would be like running a meeting in the boardroom, and I'd start breaking out in hives, and then I'd take a shower, and find like clumps of hair falling out.
Oh my gosh.
I became very sick. So I decided finally, because doctors these days don't really want to like hit you with the root cause. They want to just write you a prescription and tell you to, go away.
Yeah.
So I decided to go back to school.
Okay.
I just finished paying off my student loans.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And
why not start all over?
Pretty much, yeah. So I went to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition.
Okay.
And originally, I just was doing that to heal myself, to really learn, how to make myself better.
Right.
But they have a whole thing about like you can help other people, you can coach. And so that interested me. But once I start kind of going down that rabbit hole of different things, different modalities to heal yourself, I was like, oh, I'm interested in Reiki, and I'm interested in hypnotherapy. And so I just started collecting certifications.
Okay.
And then I quit my job 3 times.
Okay.
Kept getting pulled back. And, it's one of those things, they call it the golden handcuffs for a reason.
Yeah.
You're enjoying that 401k match and the benefits and all the things. It is really scary to just say, you know what, that salary is amazing, but I don't need it.
Right.
Especially when you're single and you're living away from all your family. Everybody's up in New York. Mm-hmm. So it took me 3 times of them, really like pulling me back.
Yeah.
The final time that I got brought back, I was there for 3 days, and that CFO that I was never a fan of, and it was mutual, he called me up and fired me.
Oh.
And he was so horribly rude to me that I recorded the conversation on my, it was on my desk phone, so on my cell phone, I recorded the conversation. There were 2 of them back to back. And thank goodness I did, because I let the owner listen to it. And he was like, I know you wouldn't, but you could totally sue me for what went on. And so because you're not that kind of a person and you're not going to do that, I got a nice severance.
Wow.
So that helped me immensely in the planning of my new pursuit. So I started coaching burned out, stressed out corporate women like I was.
Yeah.
And, how to not only like heal yourself through the Reiki and the hypnotherapy and the nutrition, but also now what? Now can we also get away from those kinds of jobs, those corporate stressy jobs, and can we build something for ourselves? Mm-hmm. So that was my focus. And I started, oh my gosh, I took this amazing trip to Bali.
Oh my gosh.
And retreats, right?
Yes.
Now let's go on retreats with these people, with these clients. And so Tulum and Bali, and I was actually planning this amazing one in Costa Rica when the lockdown happened.
Okay.
So then I'm like, yeah, there I go again, right? Like I was finally like feeling physically, mentally, emotionally better. I was like meeting all these great clients and taking them on these great retreats. And what do you do in lockdown? I'm not going to do hypnotherapy on Zoom.
Yeah.
Not going to do. People did, but no.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So then I just kind of, I'm not going to lie. My dog and my glass of wine and Netflix were like my best friends for a little while.
I think it was everyone's like.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. So after all of that, I ended up, thank goodness, I met a great guy that lived in Wilmington. Mm-hmm. And didn't want to. I was done with all things men. But I had a mutual friend and she texted me, it's done. I was like, what does that mean?
What's done?
And she said, I texted him your number. I was like, I told you I'm done. I have a dog.
Right.
I don't need a man.
Right.
But I'm really thankful because I came to Wilmington and I had been coming here. Whenever I got stressed at the corporate job, I would come here and like just the beach, just there's something about that water.
So chill.
Yeah. And I loved Wilmington and Wrightsville Beach. So when I found out that he didn't have children, but he had dogs, and I'm such a dog person, and he's a chef, and he lives in Wilmington, I was like, ooh, okay then.
Yeah.
Right. So I came to finally, like we talked on the phone and we texted and everything for a long time. And then finally he was like, why don't you come see me? And I came for one day, or planned on coming for one day, but I stayed for 9.
Okay.
So, and by the time that 9th day came and went, I had an apartment in Wilmington.
Wow.
Yeah. I needed to get out of Raleigh anyway. Yeah. I was there for a long time. But I fell in love with the cargo district. He had just moved into one of those little cargo apartments. And I was like, this is so cool. There was a crafted market that week when I was there. And I just thought, this is cool. Like, so many women are out here with booths, like vendor booths, and they're selling all these amazing things, Queen Esther tea. And like, I met all these awesome people. So I was like, okay, I can start again. I can do small, like, beach retreats.
Okay.
I'll start small. You know, COVID was still sort of a thing, you know, we were still kind of stuck in that. And so anyway, I moved here. And then the Plan Outpost was going to move to a larger location over by Cheesesmith. And so there was a vacant spot. And what the heck?
What the heck?
You know? Yeah.
Wow. Well, first, I have to commend you and just say, you've lived 1,000 lives.
Oh, honey, I could write a book.
Oh, my gosh.
I left a lot out.
Listen, this is exactly why I started the show, because everyone's journey is so different.
Yeah.
And to hear all of the trailing paths that you took to lead you right here, it's funny how the universe works, especially when you shared the part of how, like, you kept getting dragged back in, and it took the nasty CFO to finally fire you. And I think that it was almost like a blessing in disguise.
100%.
Because it led you to where you need to be now. Oh my gosh. And a teacher? Oh, just brava. Like,
well, I didn't last very long. I mean,
it's okay. You still did it. You took a step that most people don't take. I like my kids. That's probably the extent of it. So I applaud anyone that ever takes that step to be a teacher, especially a special ed teacher. I think it takes an immense amount of patience and kindness that you clearly still display today.
Thank you.
And
but we need more really amazing teachers.
We do.
And North Carolina especially.
Yeah.
We need to pay them more.
Listen, if I could just rally, and
it's so
horrible.
I get so upset when I think about it. Yeah.
My sister-in-law was a teacher also. Okay, yeah, I'm my bossy producer is already telling me, listen, y'all know last season, Vance is really bossy. Anyway, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get there. My sister-in-law was a teacher also, and same thing. She was just like, this isn't enough to live, and she has kids also. So all the teachers out there, we love you. And for any higher authorities that are listening to this episode, pay the teachers, man. With that, though, again, the boss man right here saying that we need to take a commercial break. So make sure you stick around. We have Kristen here from Hello Love. She's going to tell us all about all of the fun stuff that she does at her shop and her markets that she does on the other side of this break. So meet us there. Bye.
At Cape Fear Community College's Small Business Center, our mission is clear: to boost the number and success rate of viable small businesses in New Hanover and Pender County. We offer high quality, readily accessible assistance to prospective and existing small business owners, leading to job creation and retention. As a community-based provider, we offer education, training, counseling, referral, and information services, all at no charge. Remember, the business starts with an idea. The success begins with a plan. We're here to help you with that plan. To get started, visit our website at cfcc.edu/SBC or give us a call at 910-362-7469. Let's get started.
Discover the innovations shaping the future of our oceans. Join us on September 17th at the UNCW's Burney Center. Engage with leading experts like Mark Huang from Sea Ahead and Susan Casey, author of Voices in the Ocean. Participate in dynamic panel discussions on building a North Carolina Blue Hub, empowering communities, startup innovations in sustainability, and funding ocean innovations. Early registration ends August 1st, so register now to secure your seat. Be part of the change. See you there.
Hey guys, welcome back. We are here again with Kristen from Hello Love. That first half, man, again, brava. You have trailblazed to where you are now. Hopefully you guys are getting jewels that she's just dropping about the entrepreneurial journey. It's different for everyone, but to find that true happiness, it's damn worth it. Like, they don't say, find what you love to do and it'll never be a day of work, like, for a reason. And I really want to get into your shop that's in the cargo district. And if you've ever been in there, it's like a little collection of everything fun. I mean, it really is. Talk to us how you put together everything that's in that store.
Well, we started out, when I moved here, I left the house and everything in it basically because I had a friend that wanted to rent it in Raleigh. And she liked the way I decorated. So she's like, just leave it. So I was really excited because I felt like I was going to start this whole life, like a new life, like new furniture and new place to live and all the things. So when I went shopping, I kind of was disappointed. It was, I felt like everything here was like beige and coastal.
Yeah.
And I was not feeling any of it. And then, of course, it was also toward the tail end of COVID where, oh, you want a couch? It's going to be, I literally was told one time it was going to be 36 weeks for this couch to be delivered.
Oh my God.
Well, remember how it was.
Yeah.
And so I literally went back to Raleigh and did shopping and everything. And I was like, this is just ridiculous. Here I have this chance to like totally start fresh in every aspect of my life. And I want to do it the right way. So it was a little bit sad that I couldn't find what I wanted.
Right.
So then I thought, well, with the shop, I want to make it, no beige, no coastal. Like we're going like what I want.
Maximalist.
Like, yeah, why not? Right. And like boho, a little bit of boho, a little bit of, but I still wanted to do like sustainable stuff and really foster like creativity and have a lot of like local and a lot of fair trade.
Right.
So you'll see in the shop, like I have one woman that helps me source really awesome vintage Turkish rugs from like the 50s and 60s.
Oh, funky.
Yeah. And then I have a lot of local fun things as well. I think I'm at like 25 local people now. And one of them, Moroccan Roots, who you know him. He's from Morocco and he still wants to support, right? So every time his parents come, they bring suitcases full.
Yeah.
So I have the really fun like Moroccan poofs, the leather and so I have those, which I think pair very well with the vintage Turkish rugs.
Yeah.
And then so there's a lot of like design elements. Art, I've got a ton of local artists.
Yeah.
Gerb is one of my favorites, and she's actually working one day a week now this summer while she's not in class.
Okay.
And so I've got lots of like Gerb art on the walls and just all sorts of plants. We, a nod to the plant outpost because we're in their old space. So I always have her plants and I pair them with my African baskets that are, women in Rwanda make those. So like, I'm really passionate about not only small business, but fair trade.
Okay.
So we have, like I mentioned, the African baskets. We have felt items, cat caves, and like all sorts of weird things that are felted from Nepal.
Okay.
And it's funny, the people that own that company actually were in shopping and I just got chatting with them. And they had moved here from the Midwest. She's a professor at UNCW. And I said, well, what do you do to the husband? And he's like, well, we purchased this fair trade company from her aunt. that her aunt had gone over to Nepal, fell in love with the people, and decided to start this fair trade. So, we have several, but I think those are my two favorites. But we have several fair trade companies that we support. A lot of Kantha.
Ray, I
Which is
hate to
like-
interrupt, but I'm locked outside the door.
Guys, we
It's
have a
really
technical
embarrassing, but I'm
break.
locked outside
Technical
the door.
difficulties.
I can't even right now. I can't. I tried the button press like 5 times.
That is gonna make for a great blooper this season.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys heard it here first.
Locked
Boss
myself
man,
out, yo.
it's karma. He's so bossy that he got locked out of this room while in the middle of You okay, guy?
I'm good. My pride's just real hurt right now. It's all right. Y'all just go right ahead. Don't mind me.
Anyway, back to fair trade with Kristen.
Yeah, fair trade. What was I saying? Kantha. We were talking about
Yeah.
Kantha, which is basically like upcycled saris.
Okay.
So, and you can have, sometimes they're silk, sometimes they're cotton, but I do a lot of Kantha blankets and bags. So they take these beautiful saris and they upcycle them. They do like multiple layers, and then they like hand stitch them. So they're amazing blankets.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
They're great. So I do the fair trade, I do the local stuff, and then I have this amazing app
Okay.
that I can use to filter. Like maybe I'll say someday, you know what, I really, not only do I want to do like women owned, but I want to do like AAPI or Black or
Okay.
whatever minority, or maybe I want to do something that's eco-friendly and sustainable, or you can literally filter all of those things.
Nice.
One of my favorite filters, not on Amazon. Because I,
yeah.
like many people have seen, especially like through the pandemic, these millionaires like Jeff Bezos have become billionaires through that. And I'm the first person to admit that when I was working like in that, corporate kind of situation and in traveling a lot, I thought that Amazon Prime was like so easy but now I see it in a different way.
Of course.
And there's a lot of like, cardboard that's used in the shipping, and there's a lot of, just that guy doesn't need any more money. So that's like one of my number one filters.
Okay.
I really want to support, small minority businesses. And so I like to try to stay away from products that are on Amazon. And then, one of my favorites was I found a publisher in Oregon, Portland, it's a women-owned book company that they're LGBTQ.
Okay.
And they even wrote a little zine on how Amazon is just killing like these small bookstores.
Right.
So they will always be a staple in my shop.
Nice.
And then of course the other thing is I'm really into clean beauty and holistic things.
Okay.
So I'm starting to grow my like little apothecary more.
Nice.
And then the chef.
Yeah.
And I kind of, toward the end of COVID, when you couldn't go out and eat much,
Right.
we tried all these weird little things, whether it's mamafuku noodles or weird hot sauces. Or so we do have a couple of shelves that are just like all weird food items. Like the other day I got in tipsy hot fudge and tipsy butterscotch.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like just weird stuff.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah. So just a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But the hope is that you're supporting minority small businesses. Yeah.
Yeah. And along with that, if that's not reason enough to come into her shop, you also host pop-up markets in the Cargo District
We
every
do.
third Sunday. So talk to us a
Yeah.
little bit about that and how that works for you.
Yeah. So when I first moved into the Cargo District, it was 2 years ago. We just celebrated our second year. And it was, I told you earlier, sometimes I just take that leap and I jump all in and I don't think first. And I didn't realize I'm the only retail on that block. People come to that block either to get their hair done, to get a cup of coffee, or to get, a burger.
Yeah.
And at that point, Mess Hall was there, and they were never open on Sundays, which is fine. But it made me sad that I was just sitting there, like, twiddling my thumbs every Sunday, and nobody would come in because people would come in, go to buy a burger, and I'd see them turn right around and walk back out. So I thought, well, that's kind of crappy for me, for Elk Cove Beer Garden, and for Blue Cup. So I decided I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but I think we need another, market in the cargo district. So, Rachel at Crafted has an awesome crafted market on the first Sunday. And then I always loved going to the satellite market on the second Sunday.
Right.
So I thought third Sunday's for me.
That's you.
So, and we have I had no idea what I was doing. Still don't. But we're growing and I'm getting more and more vendors that really I'm so blessed. I have 150 applicants right now for my next market. And I only have 25 spots right now.
Wow. Oh my
So
gosh.
because what happened, I think I had mentioned previously that Azalea Station, we used to utilize them. We could just put some of our vendors inside. We had room at one point for 40. We would use them, and then the parking lot that we used to use is now this amazing, or it's going to be soon, this amazing food court.
Right.
So we really had to pivot, and now we use this beautiful green space that's on the corner of Queen and 16th. So I can put some people out there and then just kind of sprinkle them around the parking area in front of my shop. But hopefully once this is all finished, Cargocade is opening and the food court is opening and there's going to be some more green space. Hopefully I'll be able to add more as we go. But it has been great because I've been able to meet so many amazing vendors. And I even have, I met Gerb, the artist we mentioned earlier. And then Molly Mack, she made this bracelet. She's just awesome. I met her and just fell in love with her. She's so sweet. And now she's working a day in my shop too. So it's just I'm meeting all these great people and I just love it. It's great.
It definitely shines through you that you really do love not only what you do, but also making a space for other small businesses, other local businesses. And I just love that. And I do have one more question, but before I ask that, you guys make sure to support Shop with Hello Love in the Cargo District. My last question, if you could give any piece of advice to someone that wanted to become an entrepreneur, what would that be?
The number one thing I would say is really just trust in yourself. It will happen. You had said before that the universe just kind of it just happens, right?
It does.
And you don't know at the time that it's going to be okay and that that these crazy things that are happening, it's all good at the end of the day. So struggle, you'll struggle, but it's going to be worth it at the end. And don't stress. It can be super stressful, but you've got to incorporate a little element of play and fun at the end of the day too. But I'll tell you, that's actually what I'm doing next is I have been carefully gathering all sorts of women in the community and creating a database of them, marketing, photography, website, branding. And I'm getting back into my little retreat roots. We're going to do, starting in September, the end of the last weekend of each month, we're going to be hosting long weekend retreats for women that want to either leave their 9-to-5 or maybe they've already started and they're trying to build their business. And so we're all going to be there helping them foster that growth. And they'll have help with branding, help with marketing, help with websites, mindfulness, all of it. And so we're just going to be giving all sorts of advice, and I can't wait. And it's what I needed back at the beginning of all of this.
Right.
And so I thought and I struggled big time. I had so many questions, and I didn't really have anybody to go to. So this is going to be for them. This is going to be for those kind of people that just want and need the support and the advice. But you know?
So true. So true. Great advice. Take it how you see fit, people. This has been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful episode. I'm so happy that you had the time to come on the show. Guys, make sure you hit the follow button, subscribe button, so you'll be the first one to know when this episode drops. I'm your host, Ray T. This is the show that highlights everyday entrepreneurs. I want to thank Kristen for coming on the show. I want to thank Boss Man that got locked out this episode, and all of our sponsors that make this season possible. Thank y'all, and thank you for watching this episode. Bye. Hey guys, it's me, Ray T, and I hope at the end of this episode you felt super inspired to shop within your local community. But make sure to tune in next week where I'll have another entrepreneur to talk about their journey here only on YouTube.